Hey there guys, how's it going? As you can see, I've got a telescope in front of me. It's new scope day. We're going to be unboxing and taking a first look, first impressions at the Askar 120 APO that is contained inside this, I have to say, really quite lovely hard case right here. We've also got, along with this, the Askar 120 APO 0.8 times reducer and the 1 times flattener, both of which have been provided along with this scope for review from Askar themselves. They got in contact, asked if I'd like to take a look at one of these things, and I said, yes please. So here it is. You can buy these from a few different places. Here in the UK, I've got affiliate links in the description box down below to First Light Optics and 365 Astronomy, who both stock these things and both are wonderful dealers you can buy with confidence. So, without any further ado, I can't wait to actually dive in and see this thing, because I've been doing a little reading around and looking at them. It looks like it's a very promising telescope, but the price for an APO triplet of 120 mils of aperture at $1,499 is ludicrously cheap. So let's talk a little bit about a case anyway. It came double boxed in cardboard, as you would hope, and then this was inside of that. Everything arrived, it seems, completely safely. No dings or bashes on this thing. It seems to be, don't know if you can hear, a very, very hard foam case. This offers completely adequate protection, I would say. Oh yeah, really high density foam insert. This is my first time actually taking a look. We have a user's manual and a QC checklist card, an inspection checklist. I'll check that out off camera later. Pretty boring stuff. And right here, straight away, the Askar 120 APO. One thing I'm noticing straight away on the top is that it has this kind of rail which you could put attachments on for sure. This is a female dovetail rail that you could put a male, let's say like a guide scope kind of thing, into this and clamp down using these provided screws. Pretty nifty. The anodizing is of very high quality, no complaints whatsoever there. I'm going to go ahead and try. It looks like nothing's going to snag. The focus is protected. Wow, I've been desperate to get this thing unboxed ever since it arrived. All right, so I'm going to move the case just out of the way for us a second. All right, so as you can see, the scope is bagged for safety, and it comes with the tube rings attached around it, keeping everything nicely in place. I'll just back these off to the point where I can undo. There we have it. They're loose now. I'm going to carefully get this free. I'm going to take a look at these rings individually, actually, just for a moment. So these are a rubber insert. Hopefully I can get this to focus on the camera for you. But there's a rubber insert there, alongside with thick felt pads, which are also very high density. Impressive. I like that. One thing I'm noticing that's a little bit of an issue for me is that this thing comes as default with this Vixen dovetail rail, and all my mounts, aside from just the AM5, they all support basically solely Losmandy. So it's a good job I do have another dovetail hanging around, which I will have to pop onto this thing and make it, you know, usable for these first light tests. But yeah, very impressed with the build quality of these. It's light, I have to say. It's kind of a very lightweight designed dovetail. I don't know if you can see that right there. It's machined out inside while still retaining, you know, tons of strength for a scope of this kind of weight. The scope, let's go ahead. So it's about as heavy as you would expect for a 120 mm APO. That is to say, it's not a lightweight, but it's also not a, you know, a desperately heavyweight thing either. I don't have the exact spec on what this thing weighs. I'm going to guess somewhere about 7 or 8 kilogram, maybe. The first thing that I've noticed though is this paintwork is phenomenal. I really like the finish of this thing. I'm a bit bowled over. This, for me, the paintwork on this, it's got kind of a mild texture to it. I like that even more than on the 130 PHQ that I reviewed, and I really liked that thing's finish. I like this a little bit more. I'll try and get this up to the camera for you and kind of show you what I'm talking about, if we can focus. Anyway, if not, I'll pop some B-roll footage over the top. It comes with a protector for transport. Never seen one like that before. A rock hard clear plastic piece. Let's move the focuser, make sure nothing's blocking anything up. Ooh, that's a good heavy weight to the focuser. I like the feeling of that. Hopefully you can see just by the smoothness of the motion, that is a fine bit of kit. Really impressed. I would have expected, you know, on a scope as competitively priced as this, that would have been one of the points where it would have perhaps lost a few points, but no. I'm a little bit taken aback actually, because as many of you may know, I used to own a Skywatcher Esprit 120, which is quite a lot more expensive telescope than this. And I'm gonna, oh yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? Just enough tension on that. I'm gonna argue that the focuser on this is nicer than the one on the Esprit. I'm not saying the Esprit one is, you know, extremely magnificent or anything like that, but this is better. At least it feels it. Really lovely motion. I'm going to move this all the way out. We do have gradations on the focuser. Hopefully you can kind of see. It extends to a maximum of 99 millimeters. Try and get that on camera B if I can. As you can hopefully see, and I'll try and demonstrate that focuser movement for you too. Silky smooth. There is a certain weight to it as well, which I quite like the feel of. So I'm noticing, of course, this thing's got a sliding dew shield with a locking knob on it, which is able to be, you know, moved into a fully out position, which we'll experiment with now. So this is fully out, that's the total length of the tube. Really reasonably long, to be honest. And it also has a detachable rear segment for those of you out there who like bino viewers, that kind of thing. You can take this off, reattach your focuser to this segment of the tube and use your bino viewers merrily. I'm just going to collapse this back down. So with the dew shield in its fully closed position, the objective is right there at the end, and my word, what a lovely piece of glass that looks to be. I'll try and get that on the B camera for you. Hopefully you can see. Machining's top notch, the finishing absolutely beautiful. I am just honestly a little bit confused as to how they've got this thing out at this kind of price. That moves nice. If I just tighten this down actually at full extension, we'll give it the dew shield rattle test. That was one thing that used to do my head in about my Esprit, to be honest. The dew shield had kind of a flop to it. On this though, nothing. Really impressive. Mechanically, awesome. I'm just noticing too, I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but inside this is a velour finish. A very, very, very fine velour. So stray light is going to be absolutely killed by that. It's not showing up on the camera because it's really anti-reflective, it seems. Impressive, I have to say. So we're going to lock that back up, put this very nice fetching orange cap back on. I like the livery, by the way. Some scopes, colours, not a massive fan of, but this, the orange, I'm all about it. Really like the look of that. We have a rotator on the back, so I'm just going to tighten that up and give it a good test. So it takes a lot of force to make it rotate when it is locked down, and it's just got a very nice, predictable tension. I'll try and get this on camera for you once again. And I just move this, you can hopefully see that there is a kind of a weight to that motion. And the locking, very simple. You'll like to see it, yeah. Again, I'm just a little bit taken aback as to how they've put out this scope at this kind of price point. I know £1,500 isn't cheap by anybody's reckoning, but for a triplet APO of 5-inch, it kind of is cheap. Do you know what I mean? I can't wait to see how this thing actually performs out under the stars. The focuser looks perfectly square. I'm just testing for that by looking at the kind of light gap that disappears around. That's a good way of checking for squareness on a focuser. If it disappears evenly, you can be reasonably assured that the draw tube is perfectly square inside the focuser. We have also on the back, if I can just turn this around for you once again, hopefully you can see a 2-inch and a 1.25-inch compression fit in there, and these are unscrewable according to the manual on the reducer. I just took the reducer manual out and had a look at those. Everything else is as new to me as it is to you. So yeah, this thing screws out. Sure enough, there you have it. Good opportunity to take a look at the paint job on the inside. Really nicely matte black, and it's got kind of a what would be the word, a micro ribbed finish effectively. I don't know if the camera's going to have any chance of showing this to you. I'm assuming probably not. Again, I'll utilize B-roll for that. Tremendous though, really impressed by that. Now I'm going to leave this off just a moment while we take a look first at the 1x flattener. So lid off, this is what I was talking about. These two come with a little mini manual each, which, I mean, it is mini, but it is a manual. It lets you know the method of installation and also the effective back focus for these things. These promise to support full frame, which is rather nice, I would say, especially again for a telescope in this price range. Full frame support is mega. Now this is in tight. Okay, I didn't mean for this thing to go anywhere. All right, finally got it out. I had to remove the whole foam insert to get there. But let's take a look at this now. So, bagged up as you would expect. Again, tremendous finishing quality. I have to say, zero problems with it whatsoever. I think that is a very premium looking part. Now it comes with, this looks to be separate, and it is, a dust cap and what appears to be a male to male adapter unit, so you could perhaps thread something into this should you wish to, you know, have access to a little bit more back focus play. Everything else seems to be fully attached. The end cap on this side is gigantic. That is huge. And the elements are crystal clear. Let's just try and screw this on. Okay, boom, easy as that. We now have a flattened 120mm APO. Man, I miss APOs, I have to say. I love reflectors and things like that. I do. I'm a very much a reflector enjoyer. But on the other hand, there is something to be said for these. So I'll put this away. Take a look in the same manner. Add the 0.8 times reducer too. So I realise I'm making quite the mess here. Same kind of thing on the manual right there. And same kind of thing in terms of struggle. That's in there tight. Reducer comes bagged just like the Flattener. Protected in a foam insert. And this is heavier than the Flattener for sure. So this looks like it's made up of a few different segments. I expect the only one that we're really interested in is this on the end right here that terminates in a male thread just like the other one. Again, this looks to be a male-to-male insert. Crystal clear. Now, let's take a look at this one. Okay, absolutely beautiful. I don't know what it is about looking at these lovely big pieces of glass, but it does something for me. I do enjoy it. And that it is right there. Whoops, nearly had it tip up, man. With the reducer attached. Desperately impressed. I really, really like this thing. I especially like the feel, actually, of that rotator. I am happy with that. I also should have noted to you, by the way, that it does come with degree markings all the way around the bottom of the focuser for the rotator. Hopefully you can see that right there. And there is kind of a pointing line too. So, all that really remains to be done is to sit this thing in the cradle. Try and be careful as I just put this in for a moment. This is just for show, as I have to take it back out of this cradle in a moment. And put that Losmandy dovetail on, I think. Let's just take a look at this thing as you'd kind of receive it if you bought it with either a Flattener or a reducer. And there you have it. So this is ready to go. Honestly, guys, I really like it already. I hope it performs as good as it looks and feels, because this thing will be staying in my observatory. I will have to buy it rather than return it. Can't wait to do some proper tests. Anyway, guys, so that's about it for this unboxing. Hopefully you've enjoyed seeing me be just genuinely excited about new gear. What a lovely job I have that allows me to do this kind of thing, and it is all thanks to you. So a huge thanks goes out to you guys for watching the videos and giving your support and allowing opportunities like this to kind of manifest and come my way. I am very thankful to you indeed. For the next part of reviews on this, I'm going to stick to my usual testing methods, where I'm going to take some data. Effectively, I'll look at it for myself, I'll judge it for myself, but ultimately I will leave the final judging up to you. I will provide you with data that you can download. I do have a full frame camera in the observatory right here that I can use with this thing and really test those full frame supported claims out. Do you know what I mean? So I'll be able to provide you with data and you can download it and evaluate it for yourself, giving you, as best as I possibly can, a kind of a try before you buy scenario. So I'd really rather let you do the deciding ultimately for yourself, but I can tell you now, if you're buying this and you're worried about build quality, don't be. It's very, very nice. So yeah, that's about it for this one. I will see you in the next video, and until then, guys, thank you for your support. Leave a like on the video if this has helped you at all, and until then, clear skies.